Hey Brent, we are going to be working on this video for you. Actually, I'm not. What's your name? Hello. Our narrative this week is going to take place in Exodus. We're going to look at the first Passover meal. Our story is going to start on Exodus 11. It's going to run through Exodus 12, verses 36, I believe. Make sure. Yeah, 36. A couple things I want to just bring to note on the story itself as you do it. Number one, we need to make sure that as you're doing the story, the context is brought in. I don't know if you want to mention every plague. That's a memorization thing. That may not be a good thing. But just say the last plague, the 10th plague, because this is the 10th plague. This was referenced in the service on remembering right before our communion. And so anyways, it's part of the story that God wants in our life as a connection. As you talk about the story, chapter 11 is kind of brief. Chapter 12 really has two parts. One is the institution of the whole day, and the other is the institution of the specific first context. I would focus on the institution of the specific context. Sometimes we can get lost in a lot of the minutia of what needs to be done. If you're comfortable bringing that all together, that's fine. If not, you could just give a general clause. They established the regulations of the yearly Passover feast and then talk about what they did that night. Basically, that's our focus that night and how it affected Egypt, how it affected them, and how God worked in it. So that's the overall context. And so that's I think, pretty easy one. It's not super long. What I recommend is that read it 3 times through in 3 different translations. You go online on the YouTube version, listen to it. I know you're auditory at times, so you can listen to it as well. So that's what you need to do there. As far as handling the thing in the group, we have to be extra sensitive to try to get everybody involved, which is a skill set you need to develop. I'm going to be there, but I am there to support you. I won't say, hey, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. I will 100% support you. Probably not say that much, okay? But one of the great tools that you can do as a facilitator is when we get into questions, you can sort of know which questions you want to ask. I'll send you a list of different things you can ask. We've sort of been doing the same thing over and over, but I'll give you the list in the email. But one thing you can do as a facilitator is say this. Somebody's not talking. Jack, what do you think about this? And then state the question. Or one thing is some people are quick thinkers, some people are slower thinkers. You don't want to try to catch anyone on the spot. Again, this is a skill set to sort of develop. There may be a time you might have to say to someone, all right, let's let somebody else sort of talk a little bit. That's sort of a nice way of telling somebody they're talking too much, okay? I'm guilty of that if I'm in a group. But again, I promise to be good. So again, that's what you're going to be doing. The context, the focus, connected to the message is the story. We're looking at the story of the first Passover, Exodus 11 through Exodus 12:36. And again, 3 times through in some passages, it does not have to be perfect. Let them find places. Try not to get confused on the specificities of laying out the institution of the Passover to actually the event of the Passover. We want to focus on the event. And I think as you read through, you'll understand the 2 different ways of looking at it. But again, it's up to you. You want to do it your way and have your way. Enjoy, and thank you for doing this.